Is this thing on?
Welcome back to the Rhapsody in Lingo podcast. I'm Israel.
I'm Samuel.
And I'm Kenneth.
Is it just me, or do you sound a bit different today?
I don't know. I feel okay. I think I sound the same. Maybe it's
You have
because
a cold?
No, I think it's because we're recording in the morning. It's 9 a.m.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Oh, it's not even 9. This is
Yeah.
definitely my sleepy time.
And I just had a nap. My mouth is really
Oh.
dry right now. I need.
So
I
we
need to
all
drink
just woke
something.
up, probably.
Yeah, we just woke up.
Hashtag woke up like this. No, Kenneth napped in solidarity with us.
Yes.
It's just,
Oh yeah, true.
he's thinking about how us poor things have to wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah.
Especially after last time.
It's very hard to pick a nice time for these things.
For naps or for recording?
Mm.
Yes.
But laps
Yes.
are for running.
What?
Laps are for yeah.
That was our last episode, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had a cold in my... No, not a cold, but I was recovering from a total loss of voice last time.
No.
So, I mean, I was sounding a lot worse. Now I think I'm quite normal. It's just, I don't know, the way I talk, it's a bit...
You definitely sound better today.
Yeah? But I think you still sound a bit different though. I don't know. Something about your voice.
Yeah, maybe.
Is there something off about
Talking weird, maybe. I'm a
Yeah.
bit more expressive today, perhaps.
Well, I feel the same.
Maybe a little bit more northern, I don't know.
No, what? More than normal? I
Yeah.
can't tell.
I guess. No, cause in the previous podcast you sound like really southern, like almost tropical. So I don't know what's happening now.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
Yeah, you could say subtropical even.
Subtropical.
Yeah.
That was northern right there. Yeah, maybe the weather changed. Yeah, it's a spring weather. I mean, everyone starts talking weird when the pollen hits and...
Oh, true. Well, it's the middle of spring, right? Because
Is it?
it was just past the equinox. The 20th was the equinox.
Oh, right.
Do we have an expert in the audience or
Yeah, I don't
here
know.
among the hosts? I have no idea about weather.
I think this year's the 20th, not the 21st. Anyway, what's our topic today?
I was just thinking, Samuel, you sound less northern than I would have expected. I don't know how you normally talk.
I mean, yeah, I do live more north than you. That's true.
Yeah.
But I technically sound less northern.
I mean, you're a rotic.
Yes, I am. But it's not because of where I live. I live in Scotland, as people know, and Scottish accents tend to be rhotic. I think most of them are. Very, very tiny minority of people aren't. But I think my rhoticity really came from media. So it's just like exposure to, yeah, I'm sorry to say, but American things.
My condolences.
I regret to inform you that you have an American accent.
And you tap your T's.
I tap my T's because
Yeah.
it feels natural to me. But I think I know people in Britain also do it sometimes. Even the King did it.
They do it.
Even the King does it
Yeah.
sometimes. If you
And
watch,
people say water.
yeah, there's a really good Jeff Lindsay video about this, and he showed that even King Charles does it sometimes.
Link in the show notes.
And definitely the younger royals too.
The younger ones. Oh yeah. They've lost the royal accents for sure.
I mean, they've
Like 2
sounded
generations back.
pretty similar to modern kind of standard British speakers. People who are not royal.
So that just goes to prove that it's not in the blood.
It's not. Yeah.
Oops.
Very much
they've
not.
lost it.
Very much not.
Is this treason? I can't tell.
Is it treason if like you own the country?
What? You own
Can
the
you-
country? Oh no, I was thinking. I was just
Oh.
negating the inherent royalty.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Yeah, I was recently talking to a friend of mine who is from England but with Hong Kong parents, and then they are really southern because they came from like a pretty, well-off town, and then has
Well
a decent education.
You could say posh twat.
I wouldn't say posh twat.
No? Okay.
Do we have to bleep that word? I
Maybe.
can't tell.
Is that a
Maybe.
slur?
they're not really that posh as a person. It's just it's just a voice, really. Oh,
It's just in the blood. No, okay.
it's weird. Normal people say it's in the voice, but to us, it's like the accent is not in the voice. The voice is just your vocal cords. The accent is in your mouth. It's in your
Wow.
So it's
cavity.
in your articulation.
I don't know what you've defined by the voice. Anyway, so so we had a lot of fun jokes about how we pronounce things differently, but they definitely say water every single time. A bottle of water.
Water.
Every single time. I asked them specifically.
I'm sorry, do you have a bottle of water? Can I have a water, please?
So, Kenneth, are you a water person or a water person or water?
I think I'm a water person. Sometimes a water person.
Just nothing in between. Water.
Water.
Or
Water.
Water.
Okay.
water. Pure water.
Water. Now that's Dutch.
I also say water though. You know, I just tread on this spectrum of sorts when I talk.
Oh.
When I
Yeah. Funny you mentioned spectrum because I used to be like really on a spectrum. Well, kind of. When I was younger.
Which spectrum?
Yeah. on the hashtag on the spectrum. But
On the water spectrum.
water
yeah,
was.
exactly. So I thought about this a lot, and currently I think my accent has stabilized. But in the past, I really flip flop between like a English accent and a really American accent, and now I think it's like a little bit of a mix of both. So what I used to do was, depending on who I was talking to, I could sound really English or I could sound really American, North American.
I mean, I bet you still do that.
Maybe a little bit, maybe a tiny bit, I think.
A little bit.
Maybe a tiny bit. I think it's human nature to kind of try to copy the other person. It's, lots of sociolinguistics kind of theory. You could try to analyze that how you want, but
we could get into that later. We have lots of
maybe
opportunities to get
another
into
episode.
sociolinguistics.
Maybe another episode. And it was really funny because I was in Iceland. Get out your bingo sheets. Sam mentions Iceland. So just when I was talking with my classmates, I think I would have there was like an Australian and then an American, and then my brain just gets confused as to what accent I should use, because normally I would use one with one person, one with the other, and at that time I was just really confused.
I love that you're so conscious of that.
I was.
Of what accent
Yeah.
you're using. Because you're so good at accents, that's why.
So was it just then that you started becoming aware of how you copy others' accents, or
I think I used to be more aware. I don't know, but at least I think I'm less conscious now even. I just like do it. I don't think about it very much now.
Right.
Because I
It's
think
just
I moved
second
to
nature.
because I moved to an English speaking country. Like you can't be doing that every time because you'll be really busy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I am really busy, to be fair.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I don't do that either. I don't switch accents. I can't actually do many accents. It's funny because sometimes people think I'm good at accents,
No,
but
I think you're good at pronunciation.
I'm not as good as you are.
I don't know.
It's decent, I think. In most languages, I'm decent, but I can't just and then switch to a different way of speaking. I mean, my dominant way of talking, my dominant accent is going to be in every single accent that I try to perform. So that's why I just don't bother doing it.
I think you have tried an American accent like for 2 seconds before on this podcast.
For 2 seconds, no.
For 2 seconds,
it
yeah.
came out really weird.
You
It's always a vowel.
You tried to be rhotic.
it's always a vowel.
time.
It's all the vowels. So I was talking to my friends the other day, and they can do a pretty clear Hong Kong accent, as in like that's their natural accent.
Well,
But no,
yeah.
they range from a very they normally talk with a clear but not exaggerated Hong Kong accent, right? It's
Okay.
discernible,
Yeah,
but they can do an exaggerated one if they want to.
of course.
So I tried doing it, and I just couldn't, because even if I could add the tones in,
Skill issue.
Skill issue.
yes, it's a skill issue. So
Yeah, literally.
I was trying to add the tones in, but then I still said still instead of steal.
Oh, okay.
So that's not even a subtle one, but there were like more subtle ones.
You still sound like English people.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm
Yeah.
saying I can't. Yeah, Kenneth is quite natural.
It's not my natural accent now, but I can still like
How would you describe your natural?
my natural accent is
because
it's a bit of a mix between a vague southern accent and a Hong Kong accent, I said.
Are we talking about globally south or like a specific kind of south?
A southern accent.
Now, not that southern accent.
Yeah.
I've been told that I don't even know where in England I would place that, but it's like a vague southern English accent, and
Yeah, I can hear that.
and then
yeah.
a mixture of a Hong Kong accent.
Do you say fast or fast?
I say fast.
Are we doing this? Are we doing the accent test?
We're doing the accent test.
Are we
yeah.
going to just discern which kind of mergers we have?
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, let's diagnose them. Well, but that's the thing, because when you're conscious of these mergers, because I assume we all are, we're conscious vaguely of what mergers and splits there are in English. It doesn't work
Because you know what the result's gonna be.
exactly. So it's like when you do a personality test, and then you just want a certain result. When you're 13 and you want to impress someone. You just want the cool personality,
Sounds
right?
like something from a personal experience.
So you always choose the coolest answers. Wait, is that not a universal experience? What?
Depends on who you're trying to impress.
I'm true to myself. I don't know about you.
Yeah, so if you want to test someone's accent, even if they're native, you still have to like trick them into saying something. I've tried doing that a couple of times, and it's really hard.
It's like an inherent paradox. It's the observer paradox, right? Or something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're going to science now. So, yeah, I think what it says is...
Heisenberg.
Yeah, when you observe something. Yes, anyway. So, like when you do a study, when you tell people to say things, they don't say things the same way as they would in real life, right? Because you're prompting them to say things. Maybe you're a researcher and then they might look up to you or something. Yeah, so what happens is they would change their speech a little bit. Maybe they pronounce things, they enunciate more, and then that's why they're not going to sound the same. And that's not very useful for linguists, really.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because people like to sound proper. Oh, it's like when we last episode we discussed.
Yeah.
When we read a script, when we talk into the microphone,
Yeah,
we
exactly.
definitely sound different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but speaking of personalities, do you think you have different personalities in different languages?
I think it's a trope.
Classic polyglot question.
It's a real trope, and I'm like low key annoyed by it.
Yeah.
Like people say, "Oh, my personality's so different when I speak another language," but I think more of that has to do with who you're speaking to, and the overlap. Because like usually you would speak one language to one person, right? So you speak to your family in your native language, probably most people, and then you speak to some people in English, some people in another language, etc. And because of the very clear distinction between like it's like really clear, right? You don't speak different languages with the same people. Like you would never do that, right? Like we would never do that.
That would be really strange.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah, so
Yeah. When you talk to someone in one language for ages and then you suddenly switch, it's just totally off.
like imagine speaking to your parents in another language. Like what the like no, right? That's just so wrong. And I think it's a distinction, right? You speak to someone in that language and that's why you associate the feeling, maybe a different culture even, right? With the language itself, but I don't think it's the language itself. I think it's the culture and how you interact with other people.
Yeah, but the culture does come with a language, and I think to a certain extent that makes a different personality, maybe, because you are funneling yourself through the lens of a different culture, and you sort of become a different person just because of that.
I think the language reflects it. I think
Yes.
people make the mistake of thinking it's the language itself.
You know what? The language refracts it.
Refracts it.
Not even reflect.
Yeah, that's just reflect with the Hong Kong accent.
Okay.
Refraction and refraction.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I love the personality thing. I think Kenneth has been making fewer dad jokes today.
I mean,
I did the
You
joking
did the
part.
joke.
I did the refraction joke.
Wait, are we?
I took over. But yeah, while we're on the topic of jokes, What day is it again?
I don't know. Look at your calendar.
I don't have one on me.
Well, it's
Yeah, so you know what day it is. You know what day it is. Yeah, it's April Fools.
愚人節快樂！
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 cut 入去。
咁我
咁我哋
下次再
下次再水
水
言狂想
言狂想
啦。